Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and bishops of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Salutations to the prophets, beloved brothers and shepherds, continuing to exhort the sheep in these last moments. The title of this epistle is going to be entitled Another Day in Babylon. As we continue to exhort the sheep and express due diligence to cleave to this understanding, while they may have the opportunity to receive it, before the windows of mercies are shut and all wrath is poured out in full measure, according to the scriptures. We are encouraged to stay within, stay occupied. Stay occupied, continuing to do the work, and don't lose hope. Some of us are going through different things that may discourage us and start biting at our patience and fall into the category of our forefathers and the 2/3 of those that have lost patience. Waiting patiently and expecting for the second coming of Mashiach Yahushai. First verse I'll go into is found in Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. And chapter 2 and verse 14 it reads, "Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when Yahweh shall come visit you?" Right. So if we are preoccupied in anything other than staying within the fold of the sheep, continue to eat this pasture here, and lose sight of our mission, of our destiny, some of us can fall out and be put into the category of a tear, an undesirable, a vessel fit for destruction. And we're encouraged to continue to endure. And this is not a light thing, because the afflictions that can come about can be very challenging if you're not built up and rooted in, what we were predestined to do in the first place. Well, if you're predestined in the first place, you're not going to fall out. You're not going to fall out. But this is for encouragement purposes, for those who need a little oil and need to continue and sustain the things that will abound and feed the flock, like we were commanded to do. So the mission of a disciple, of a hopeful elect, is to continue to abound, study to show thyself approved, and continue to exhort the sheep as a disciple of Hamashiach Yahushai. In Matthew chapter 10, this is the Great Commission, the mission for the disciples, the elect, because even in this very hour, there is a sifting and a purging going on within the body of Hamashiach. There's a sifting, and we want to grow and strengthen ourselves to be those pillars of iron to reign with Hamashiach Yahushai when he does come and revisit the earth as in the beginning. So Matthew chapter 10 and verse 10, we'll go through it and touch on it a little bit, starting at verse 5. This is the ordinance from Hamashiach Yahushai given to the disciples. This is what he says. He says, "Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and enter into any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not." So he's given a specific order for the disciples who are learning from Yahushai at this time, on how to and where to deliver the message of salvation. So he says, "Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and enter into any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This is in reference to the northern kingdom that has been scattered out of the nation of Yasharallah, Israel, because the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom was still occupying Judea at this time. So he says, and as you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Dominion, rulership, the kingdom to come, which is going to be governed by the body of the 12 tribes of Israel, the elect. Verse 8, heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils, freely you have received, freely give. So as the this deep understanding, as the seals are opened, as we continue to build understanding, we are also advised and commanded to go and exhort the lost sheep of the house of Israel, those that may still not know who they are, not know that they are in occupied land, prisoners of war, a remnant of people that have been extinguished over a period of generations. So heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead. This is to have them understand that they have picked up false doctrine and understanding and worshiping idols and understanding, to heal them from being sick, because all those things that they have brought into their spirit, if you will, is not causing a spiritual reformation and life everlasting, but he's commanding us to go and to the lost sheep of the house of Israel and to help remove those scales. He says, provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses. He's going to fund everything for your journey. The Most High Yahweh is. He says, I go before you. I go to prepare a place for you. All he asks is that you deliver his message unto those that that he feels as though may be worthy to receive you and to deliver the word, right? As a disciple, he will send you different places, but don't, worry about preparing anything for yourselves. He will prepare everything for you. Provide neither gold, nor silver, nor brass in your purses, nor script for your journey, neither two coats, neither shoes, nor yet staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat. Right. So once you are found worthy enough to carry his message, you will receive the benefits and be welcomed if that in particular city or environment is receiving you. And into whatever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who is worthy, and there abide till you go hence. Right, he'll put you in a particular situation where he will allow you to be taken care of and comforted. All your needs, most of your needs, all the things that are needful for you will be met, provided that you are doing the work of a disciple and preaching Hamashiach. And when you come into that house, salute it. Shalom. And if that house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it not be worthy, let your peace return unto you. Right? And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Right. So if what your message is, what you're bringing, does not bring peace to that home, and they do not receive it, and all manner of things start to happen that are unfavorable and unfruitful, he says to just dust off your feet. Right? Dust it off. They are not worthy to receive ultimately salvation. Matthew 10:15. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Verse 16. This is important. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. So you have to be very circumspect and discerning of your environment. Not everyone is worthy of receiving the true gospel, because it will cause some some feathers to be ruffled, and that's not to discourage you. That's to cause you to be very wise and circumspect. He says, do not cast your pearls before the swine, because they'll trample all over them. You do your due diligence and you study for hours and hours, and putting on righteousness and understanding, so you can have the power to remove those scales and those lies off of people, but they want to hold on to that mindset. So be very circumspect, because verse 16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Right. There's no need to be reactionary. If you're not well received, you would be called all manner of hateful words, and looked at as less than an outcast. But that's okay, because you're on a mission. You're a disciple of Hamashiach Yahawashi, and you have been found worthy to carry the truth. Right. 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. Right, because you are opposing their unrighteous ways and understanding, because there has to be a level of a standard of righteousness lifted up. And this is part of the walk of the disciple of Hamashiach Yahawashi, is to continue to bear your cross and to be a vessel of honor and rebuke whenever you see fit, and know properly when to add those corrections. If they're well received, they will receive them. If not, dust your feet off. And this is what he says, verse 18, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my name's sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. So not only are you building up a case and a testimony against your own tribesmen of the 12 tribes of where he sends you first, but also unto the Gentile nations. The message is for both. You're receiving judgments because of the iniquities of your forefathers for what they have done to the children of Israel. And the children of Israel, you will receive a judgment as well, because you reject salvation and you do not cleave to this understanding, but you go and eat off of pastures that will not benefit you and cause you to have that spiritual reformation in life that you will ultimately desire in the day of your calamities. Verse 19, but when they deliver you up, take no thought for how or what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. Don't worry about what's going to happen and this and that. The Most High Yahweh has given you the spirit of Hamashiach Yahawashi, and it's the Ruach within you that will speak, because you are putting the mind of Hamashiach on. And if you're walking in righteousness, he's going to defend you. This is what the word says. Verse 20 of Matthew 10, it says, for it is, okay, I read that one. For it is not ye that speak, but the Ruach of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the children, and the children shall raise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. So some of the individuals that have been called, they're not continuing in their lot to endure and be patient and persevere, keeping at the forefront of their mind that this is what the ministry is called for while we are still in the land of our captivity, because the world operates in gross darkness and people love it. Even our own people, they continue to bask in the glory of sin and iniquity, because it comforts them. Because anything outside of disconnecting yourself from this environment is very uncomfortable, and they don't want to lack. We'll remember that, bring remembrance our forefathers in the wilderness, how they tempted the Most High Yahweh. He gave them pastors according to who he saw fit to bring forth wisdom unto them. He cracked open that the rock, Hamashiach Yahawashi. The seals were opened, and they were ministering and giving them wisdom, and they still rejected the comforts and the salvation that they were being offered, and ultimately got destroyed. So we want to also be mindful of that as well while we continue to endure and persevere, and reach those who are open to receive this message, because as prophecy continues to escalate, there's going to be more and more people looking for answers and understanding until that window of mercy is shut off, and then he goes and hides the word again and reseals it. It's only for a limited time, right? So Matthew 10 and verse 22, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endures to the end shall be saved. Right. You're going to be called all manner of hateful words, whatever it is. But do not fret, do not worry, because you're not designed to fit into a fallen world. Those that have consumed all kind of abominable strong wine and drinks, because that's their a lot. Ultimately, verse 23, but when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. So he will always make a way to escape. If he sends you to an environment where you are welcomed and they receive you, and they take heed to your word and understanding, they will cleave to it. And if not, leave that city, town, land, dust your feet off, and go to the next. This is the lot of the disciple. But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. So if anyone out there is doing this work and you're still wondering why all these things are happening to me, it's been too long since I have received a blessing and some relief from my circumstances and this and that, you have to be patient when you are brought to a lower state. Continue to endure and persevere. Don't get comfortable. That will bring about death. Always be in a mind state of alertness and stay locked in to be properly fed, so that way you are always ready to make the moves that you need to, spiritually and then physically, right? Be on the move. So the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant of his Lord. So if Hamashiach Yahushai had to go through all these things to sit on the right hand of the Father, and you want salvation as well, you're not above that. So verse 25, it is enough for the disciple that he be as his master and the servant of his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, they said, you're the devil, you're wicked, you're evil, you speak lies, all these things. They said this to the Messiah, Hamashiach Yahushai. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of this household? Right? Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. So the one benefit that the prophets, the teachers and shepherds, and all those continue to push forth sound doctrine is that we have prophecy on our side as well. Because as these things continue to unfold and unravel according to the scriptures, it's only going to fortify what we're saying and line up perfectly as to where the world out there who is continuing their falsities and teaching their congregation lies, it's not going to add up. They're not going to have the answers for them. So that's another thing to be mindful of, and that can strengthen our endurance and persevering and what we're teaching and what we're revealing while we have the opportunity to, right? Because it's all going to line up. They cannot gainsay any longer. So as these prophecies continue, we push in harder and harder and harder. So that way it's fortified, because now it's like it's in your face. There's no denying it. And if they still continue to reject it, then they reject it. Don't worry about it. Verse 27 of Matthew 10, it says, what I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in the light. He's only going to reveal his words and his understanding to the prophets, those that he has found fit to carry this message and redeemed from and separated from the entire world. And that is what you bring forth to the light. You now become that vessel of honor, because now the words that Yahweh through Yahushai is coming out of your mouth. It's not your words that he's speaking, but ultimately, you're being used as a vessel of honor to speak the word. And if they reject it, then you are the witness against them. So that way, when he does bring about judgment, you can't have a heart posture to suggest, maybe they should have had a no. You bear witness with them rejecting it, because they saw you. They judged the word by the vessel that was coming through you. So what I tell you in the dark, that you shall speak, and what you hear in your ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Right. So those who have a strong relationship with Abana wa Yahweh Shai, we know that what he's capable of doing. And it keeps us in a posture of having that fear and reverence that, that at any given time, we also can be removed out of the ministry and cast out into the outer darkness, just like the 2/3 and the rest of the heathens. So we don't fear what man can do unto us. They can only hurt the flesh, but the Most High Yahweh can corrupt our minds and give us a corruptible spirit while we're in the flesh, destroying our soul and body in hell. Imagine being trapped in your body, having the understanding that you were persevering at one time, having favor with the Father, but now was found rejected because you had something else in your spirit that was not favorable to the Father, and you entertained that, and now he gave you up to a reprobate mind. That is very, very scary. Verse 29 of Matthew chapter 10, it says, Are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father? But the very hairs of your head are numbered. Fear ye not, therefore ye are of more value than many sparrows. You have found the disciple, those that continue to abound and persevere and have patience in this work. You are finding much, much favor with the Father, and you are valuable. As to where the world have never seen any value in you other than what you can offer unto them. A hard-working, laborious man who has many gifts and talents of different trades that can benefit others. But the Father has found more in you than what the world can see. And that should make you feel very, very special. Right? So continue to persevere and endure. Right? Where's my notes? Revelation 2 and 10. Revelation. So that's the mission of a disciple, to keep that at the forefront of your mind, to continue to persevere and push through all the said obstacles, so you can be refined like fine gold and find favor in the times of trouble and times of your need. Revelation 2 and 10. Yeeks. Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. But be thou faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life. So, depending on what our lot is and how the Father wants to test us and refine us in those moments to build up our testimony, our strength, our faith, all these things. Some of us will have that lot of being put into prison because we're preaching righteousness and the world receives you not, but be not but don't lose faith and be faithful unto death, and the Most High Yahweh will give you a crown of life. He says he will redeem you. He will redeem you, and he will fight for you. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 31. Because if you find your life and you want to keep your life, you will be destroyed. But if you lose your life for his name's sake and be called to this administration, you will find life everlasting. Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 8. And Yahweh, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be thou dismayed. So right there, no matter what mission you find yourself on, the Most High has already gone before you to make a way for you, so that way you can fulfill your destiny and ultimately glorify him and extol him, right? This is the mission of the disciple, the prophets, the beloved brothers and teachers and shepherds who continue to persevere and have patience in these times. Isaiah chapter 40. Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 31. It says, but they that wait upon Yahweh shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Upon persevering and going through your trials and those pressures, that if you are faithful unto death, he will give you a crown of life, and you will mount up as wings as eagles. You'll find your spirit renewed, knowing that he's saving you from one situation to the next situation, pulling you out of that fire after you have stood strong and firm and, keeping all his ways. Because we don't want to be found like our forefathers in the wilderness, moaning and groaning and murmuring and falling weak to the pressures and trials and which is to come, right? Next verse we'll go into is Revelation chapter 14. 14 and verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Hamashiach Yahushai. So the patience, we have to keep the patience and be long suffering. Although we wake up every day and we have this feeling of despair sometimes to a degree, we are encouraged to continue to persevere and look for those daily gems that the Most High has put in our day-to-day for us to uplift us so we can be renewed in each and every moment. And we find true fulfillment staying busy and prophecy and understanding, because that's where the breath of life is found in, right? Revelation chapter 3. Revelation chapter 3, that is the patience of the saints. Revelation chapter 3 and 10, he says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And behold, I come quickly. Hold fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Right. So when you are faithful unto death, he will give you a crown of life, that understanding of wisdom, how you persevere in those moments. So that way, your tests and trials become that much more less challenging to deal with than those that have not cleaved to the understanding and found favor, because it's only through him that you are given the wisdom to persevere and understand how to go about persevering in these trials and tribulations. We give him all grace, honor, and glory for finding favor in this time, even though maybe we were found in the beginning of time and predestined to come into this light. We still give him homage and reverence, so that way we may find favor in the times of our need, right? So I pray that this was edifying, and until the next time, shalom.